Hi again, this is Bobby from Copel TV Repair with a functionality proof and a few notes. Functionality proof is for the board for Vizio XVT553SV, as you can see on that label, belonging to Mike 1960. It is in our usual setup that you can see in many others our videos. HDMI 1 to small media player powered by the USB. First I'm going to show that it is working. I don't know if you can hear the sound. It does work. It actually came working after it was reflown, and we were in touch with the customer and told him that the board has been messed up with. This was taken off, not even soldered on the back. This is how the label looks like, and this is how those look like. Pay attention to the grayish brownish color that those labels have and compare them to the very clear. Well, this one doesn't have anything white on it, and besides, any of the boards that are here probably would have been. This is very white up there, but that's not very. None of those has the labels that are on the side that will show. Bottom line though, and it works worse on the back, and it looked even worse on the inside. What this tells us is that this board has been through a reflow process that was probably not properly done. If it affected all the top here and all the top here. And so we got back in touch with the bar, and you can actually see some of the traces here from the flux. All the way up here there was a trace of flux that was put in reflowing the main processor, and this is wrong. It creates all kinds of problems if this is not properly done. And we asked the customers what to do, gave them a few options, and they went for reflow. Reflow was done, just so that you know we're not making things up, on this machine. And when it was done, I made a picture of what happened. So somebody has been trying to reflow that. This is a picture. I have it on my phone. I don't have time for editing the video on YouTube so that you have see it all fine. So instead, I just pulled it up on a monitor here. This is a picture of the board while it was reflowing. The goo that was coming from underneath, we call it a last resort flux that apparently is advertised somewhere on the internet, and it does work with the side effect that it is a last resort. If that doesn't work, it either fixes or kills, which is not the case for other fluxes, and that's one where we don't use. It expands at a higher temperature and it shrinks back on a lower. So you will not see that flux when it's properly applied, because it would be under and inside, under the BGA chip. And when you start heating it up, it will start expanding and going. And the little bubbles of air, the pockets of air that you see here, while it is warming up, they break. It just bubbles up and bursts, and that actually can help making a better contact in reflowing, but it also can cause spill of solder from one place to another, and it does happen often enough in our experience, especially with the smaller processors. With this one it does work better, but with the ones that have smaller balls and denser balls, it almost always kills them. What I'm trying to say is we can't know originally if there was something like that applied, if it was applied reasonably well, whether it was this type of flux or a different type of flux. And when we apply a different type of flux, the two of them can mix together, causing much more and worse of those bubbles, and that can totally blow the whole thing. And that's one of the many reasons why we do ask that boards that are sent to us are not being worked on, and why we do impose charges or other forms of restrictions if we are to work on a board that has been previously worked on, with this one we did put a different flux. Customer was lucky, we were lucky, it didn't kill anything, but it could have, and it could have made it after reflow. We gave an option to replace the whole parser with a brand new one, not reball, replace it. Customer chose the cheaper path. Customers usually choose the cheaper path, especially for older TVs. And when things don't go their way, they just turn to us and say, it wasn't delivered, item was bad, it's your fault, give me my money back. And I keep on whining about those. Which reminds me that I can use that video for a second. I'm gonna hide this for a second to show people that don't, to hide the other of our emails. Today we received 2 of those emails. I'm just using the chance to not just always be whining. Here's another email that says, you guys are great. I got the repair board yesterday and installed it back to the TV. Everything works fine now. Your support in response to my questions and help along the way were excellent. When I first sent a question, etc., etc., etc. Just everybody wins. Hooray! Happy customer. We got 2 of those today. I'm gonna hide again, show the second one, which says, hi, I'm not the one to leave reviews, but I just wanted to tell you guys that you did a great job on my Vizio board. Saved me lots of money buying a new TV. I told my wife, blah, blah, blah. So, that said, we do have happy customers, and then this is still working. I just want to show that. And that's it. That will wrap up the review and the whining and the self-promoting portion. This board will be sent back without warranty. That wouldn't have been the case if it wasn't worked on. I don't know if it is any better than it was before. We did what we could do with it. I would have replaced the processor given what I saw, but customer chose against that. And so be it. Thanks for now.